with the Citi Advantage Card, you'll earn 10% of your redeemed miles back to use again for your next trip. Call 800-814-0972 to apply for your Citi Advantage Card and 40,000 Advantage bonus miles. Or visit Citi.com/travel.
HLN's Evening Express, today, 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern.
You don't think the fact that you've already sent money to his, don't you have kind of a stake in this already?
I can see where you're coming from with that.
I mean, let's be perfectly honest.
Yes.
When you agree, how many, have you ever heard of it?
I object, Mr. Dillon, suggesting somehow that this juror hasn't been honest.
You've got a stake in this. You've already contributed to his cause, correct?
Correct.
The trial, and you still think, even though you've already contributed to his defense, that you can sit there and just want everybody to disregard the fact that you've contributed to his defense?
I didn't say that.
Being fair?
I said I could keep an open mind.
I apologize.
I said I could keep an open mind.
Well, that was one of the more fiery moments so far in jury selection. Prospective juror, age 27, this guy with the ZZ Top beard admitting that he donated $20 to George Zimmerman's defense fund, despite saying he had an open mind about the case. He didn't make it to the second round. Now, the numbers so far, 300 potential jurors filled out questionnaires. 32 are moving forward to a second round of questioning. Judge wants 40 people, and it's all pointing to a final 6, plus alternates, of course. Don't forget that. Gene Casares and political science professor Jason Johnson joining me now from Sanford. Gene, let's start with you. You know, could this be where the case is won or lost?
You're right. It definitely, and that's why the questioning is so intensive, and that's why there's individual questioning. They got through 4 potential jurors today, and it really went very smoothly. I mean, just as someone watching and listening to it all, I don't see anything that stands out that someone could be stricken for cause. But one juror in particular I want to tell you about, Kira, age 69. She was a Caucasian or mixed race female. She's 5.5 months pregnant. And so the question is, there's going to be sequestration, and is that an insurmountable hardship? She says that she does go to the doctor frequently. There are sonograms. Usually the appointment is at 8:30 in the morning, but she likes her family around her when she's there. And the attorney said, well, that probably wouldn't be a problem. You will get family visits. You will be able to call them. So it sounded like they would work it out so that she could be on the jury if she makes it that far and still meet her doctor's appointments.
All right, 2 other jurors that made it to the second round. Let's take a look at juror age 35, okay? White woman in her 20s, liked the picture of Trayvon Martin on Facebook. Family discussed the shooting, claims to have no opinion on shooting. Stefan, what do you think about age 35? Good for prosecution or defense?
Yeah, I think she'd be okay. I mean, I think the fact that she liked a Facebook post by itself isn't going to, in a normal jury, she'd be out, okay? The fact that she had any information whatsoever, she'd be totally out. But here, where everybody has all of this knowledge, they're scraping to get people like her. I don't think she would be necessarily out of the picture for the prosecution or the defense. I think she'd be okay. All
right, let's look at juror age 29. Jason, I'm going to take this one to you. White guy in his 60s, dislikes the media, critical of outsiders who judged case unfairly, referring to Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, concerned about job if he's sequestered. I thought that was interesting, the Jesse and Sharpton referral. What do you make of that potential juror?
Yeah, I wouldn't take him if I was the prosecution. What's been fascinating to me about some of these potential jurors is they're absolutely sure this case has nothing to do with race, but somehow they can say they're going to be open-minded. And anybody who has that kind of strong opinion about any aspect of this case already should be a cause of concern, certainly for the defense and even for the prosecution.
Well, are you paying close attention to that? Jason?
Kira,
yes.
I'm sorry, Kira, you cut out on me.
No, that's okay. I
think you're asking.
I was asking Jason if he's paying close attention to the issue of race. I haven't had a chance to talk to you about that since you've been down there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's very apparent here, and I think one of the things that's important for everyone to remember is, you know, race isn't just black and white. There are Hispanic people here. There's multiracial people here. There's white Hispanics and other people who define themselves more as Latino. So I really think it's important, and the prosecutors are definitely paying attention to the fact how people live race in their own lives and how that would affect whether or not they would be in favor of George Zimmerman or possibly be empathetic towards Trayvon Martin and his family.
All right, guys, we'll keep talking about this. HLN, of course, is covering every angle of the George Zimmerman trial. But what if you live in the county where attorneys are actually trying to pick the jurors? Can George Zimmerman even get a fair trial with the media's full court press on this case? That's all coming up. Well, cops say that this man had a collection of child